What's up, YouTube? Andy here, back today with episode 2 of the Griffey Gauntlet. Today we're going to get into season 2 of this attempt to win a World Series with the Cincinnati Reds and Ken Griffey Jr. Now, the offseason as came and went, we made some additions or some subtractions, so let's take a look at where our lineup sits now. So our lineup this season is going to look a little bit like this. We have Larkin, Boone, Griffey, Bat, Healthy, and a 98. Dante Bichette. We just signed Charles Johnson to be catcher in the offseason. Excited about that. Sean Casey, Demetrion, Michael Tucker, and Poti Reese. If you're wondering, yes, that is Ken Caminiti you see on the bench. Pitching rotation, because he boned us so hard in the playoffs, we signed free agent pitcher Mike Hampton. We also have Jamie Wright, Osvaldo Fernandez, Rob Bell, and we did reach out and acquire John Parrish through a trade. Young lefty with a lot of upside. And the bullpen is the same. The bullpen was so good last year, didn't really see a need to do much. Well, you know what time it is. It's time to sim our way through the All-Star break. First day of the season's off to a hot start as Aaron Boone has fractured his hand and will be out 1 to 2 months. Here we are at the All-Star break. We're in second place, you know. So if you don't look at the fact that we're 9 games behind the first place Cardinals, it doesn't seem so bad. Barry Larkin is doing well. Aaron Boone, he had the injury and was out the first 2 months, but he seems to be bouncing back okay. Ken Griffey Jr. it's Ken Griffey Jr. You know, you can just kind of set your watch to this kind of numbers. Bichette is doing well. Let's take a look at our free agent signing, Charles Johnson. 13 and 37, 279 average for a catcher. We'll take that. Sean Casey's doing great. Dimitri's looking good. Michael Tucker's solid. And Poti Reese. We gotta figure something out with Poti Reese. And if anyone was wondering, Ken Caminiti has been decent off the bench. Let's take a look at the pitching now. Free agent signing, Mike Hampton is 6-5 with a 3.19 ERA and a 1.32 WHIP. Jamie Wright has still been pretty solid since we acquired him last season. 8-5, we'll take that. Rob Bell is, I don't know what he's doing. Another trade acquisition, John Parrish. In my head, this was going to turn out into a great deal for a young left-handed pitcher. I think he's working through his issues. And Elmer Descends has been brought in to start due to injuries, and it's not terrible. Danny Graves has 22 saves on the year, only blowing 2 so far. Numbers look pretty good, but overall, our bullpen has our bullpen's kind of fell to shit, honestly. Before we get into the second half here, we did make some moves pitching-wise and trade-wise as well. Starting off with, we did call up Reyes again because he was amazing last year with an ERA under 2, and he's doing the same thing in AAA, so we brought him back up to the Major League club. We also made a trade to acquire a young Dan Wheeler to help shore up the bullpen a little bit and give us some stability. Now, John Parrish wasn't cutting the mustard, the relish, the ketchup, whatever the hell you like to put on your hot dog. So we reached out to Chicago, and we're like, yo, hey, we'll send you Parrish and a bullpen arm for a pitcher. And they were like, hey, you want Mike Soroka? You bet your sweet butt cheeks we do. So welcome to the team, everybody, and let's get into the second half. Well, year two wasn't as good. Was not as good. We finished at 500 and did not make the postseason. Ken Griffey Jr. seemed to have a bit of a down year, I would say, for his usual numbers. Dante Bichette had a hell of a year, though. And, you know, Charles Johnson was great as a free agent signing, I feel. Our other big free agent signing, Mike Hampton, finished the year at 10-10. After he went 16-9 last year. Jamie Wright, not great. Rob Bell, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out pitching. Soroka, 12-7 though. I mean, not terrible. We'll take that. And the knuckleballer wasn't horrible. Danny Graves finished the year strong with 35 saves and only 3 blown saves all year. And if you're weird and like to know this kind of stuff, like sometimes I do, the White Sox have beaten the Padres in the World Series. All right, so we go into the free agency period. This one's going to be a little different because since we didn't have any playoff baseball for this one, we're just going to go through the offseason and see what we can do. Dimitri Young's been solid. I just don't know that I have a spot for him in the outfield, but he's 28 and a switch hitter. I think he's got to stick with the team. Michael Tucker, 31 years of age, outfielder. I do like his bat as well. And you see that his offensive numbers for power have gone up. But I'm willing to give a qualifying offer here to see if maybe he can get that bat going again. Alex Ochoa, outfielder, plays all the positions, 30 years old, right-handed bat. As you see, his workload this year went up close to twice as much. But you also look at, with that, his home runs, RBIs, walks went up, as well as his average. I think Alex Ochoa is a must to stay on this team. Mark Wohlers, 32-year-old right-handed relief pitcher. I don't know what happened here. Like, the wheels fell off the train and we hit a mountain. He pitched more this year and the ERA climbed. Now, do I think that he has a shot to turn it around next year? I hope so. But I also feel like a qualifying offer just to, see what we can do next year with him might not be a terrible thing. A veteran bullpen arm, always a plus to have. And he's got velo. Now off to the most exciting part, free agency. And I think we need to kind of target a third baseman. I think Aaron Boone needs to possibly move to a bench role going forward. And maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I think that's that way I have to look at. I want to try to get a infielder at least with some pop. Possibly a starting pitcher. I know we drafted one and I know we acquired some players, but I feel like we really need to kind of look at getting one more consistent arm, since Mike Hampton is kind of kicking my nuts in the dirt here. So after the first season in episode 1, Tom Glavine was a free agent, and I thought about trying to make him an offer, but I also felt that that wouldn't be necessarily the move a team like the Reds would make. That's why we went with Mike Hampton, which also makes no sense if you remember the deal that Mike Hampton got from the Rockies, but that's beside the point. But anyway, that season he went 20-4, hit free agency, signed 1-year deal with the Chicago White Sox to go 16-4. Almost a virtually exact same season. First option I see out the gate here for a potential third base option, 32-year-old Vinny Castilla. Right-handed bat. Numbers look decent. I mean, 25 and 70, 228 average is kind of but I mean, if this was today, which, I mean, it is today, but like, currently, a 228 average doesn't mean anything, really. Now, if we really wanted to just grind my gears, we would probably go ahead and make a move here for Jeff Cirillo. Actually, Jeff Cirillo wasn't bad. Now, if we really want to mess with HQ, especially Sheila and payroll, we could probably go ahead and sign Bobby Bonilla and then pay him money for the next 58 years. This one actually might work here, all right? Brett Boone, Aaron Boone's brother, coming off a 30 home run campaign last season. Maybe we reunite the brothers. It builds up some chemistry. We did a lot of offense out of both of them. I don't remember if this is when he was doing the roids or not, but, sometimes you just gotta say, fuck it. Right, so we have actually reached out and offered Brett Boone $33 million for 5 years. Damn, Giambi's a free agent. This is gonna be the tough part because I really feel like we need another starting pitcher. I really, really do. I feel that Glavine and Schmidt might kind of be out of our range. But there's also other interesting names. 29-year-old Chan Ho Park. I feel like this might make the most sense. Because we could probably get him a little bit cheaper than Glavine. For the Reds, I feel this signing makes more sense. Other option I have, Rick Helling. 2 years in Texas, both very good. 12-9, and then last year was 11-8. Last year, he cracked over 200 innings. Now, Aaron Seeley, a little bit older than the other pitchers I've kind of looked at. But 2 years in Seattle, not terrible, especially this last season, 14-8. had his best season of the two they have here. Another one, kind of surprising, 30-year-old James Baldwin. Free agent, last 2 seasons, 25 and 17. This one's crazy, 39-year-old David Wells. Not the worst of the bunch. I'm kind of wondering if maybe we try to get David Wells and then sign one of the other pitchers too. All right, so we have made an offer to David Wells of $10.8 million for 2 years. And after making that offer, we also made one to Chan-Ho Park. Why? Because we want to beat the Dodgers. All right, big news of the offseason. Luis Castillo has been traded from the Marlins to the Dodgers for Eric Gagne and Alex Cora. Giambi has signed with the Marlins for a 7-year deal worth $160 million. David Justice goes to the Dodgers. I can already hear Twitter in just an uproar right now. You know, like, oh, the fucking Dodgers. Ah. All right, here it is. Our first signing. Brett Boone has agreed to come join his brother here in Cincinnati. And another offer we had put out has been accepted by Chan-Ho Park to join our rotation. I'm excited about this one. I think Chan-Ho Park is going to be good. Pedro Estachio has agreed to a 3-year deal with the Rangers. Jason Schmidt goes to the Rockies. I got to imagine in the back of my head, Jason Schmidt took this deal because, like, we had Mike Hampton and the Rockies weren't able to offer Mike Hampton that wild deal. Remember that? Yeah. Pepperidge Farms remembers. Rick Helling also signs with the Rockies. The Rockies are beefing up their rotation. That might be a scary, scary concept to think about when you have Walker and Helton there now. The Angels have acquired Jimmy Rollins from the Phillies. And the Phillies said, sure, we'll take Darren Erstad and Ramon Ortiz. All right. I'm not going to lie to you, Chad. This actually might be one of the most dangerous lineups we've had in this going into year 3. Now, we didn't replace Aaron Boone, but we got his brother Brett Boone to sign in Cincinnati, and I think that's going to be okay for us. I feel like Brett Boone's going to hit 30 home runs, maybe playing with his brother. Maybe they'll be like challenging each other, like siblings do, like, hit the ball harder, pussy. Now, the rotation, I think we're actually in a good spot with because we got Hampton as our ace. Chan-Ho Park we just signed to be the number 2 starter. Mike Soroka, who we picked up from the White Sox midseason, had a pretty good year. Osvaldo Fernandez, the knuckleballer, I don't see why we'd want to get rid of him now. And then we just signed David Wells. David Wells might be 39, but, if you look at the innings pitched, the ERA, the WHIP, the win-loss, whatever you like to look at numbers-wise, I'm not a math expert. I believe in a heavy hottie like David Wells, as I'm a chubby dad myself. So, that's episode 2. Didn't get to the playoffs. We finished 500 after winning our division the first year. Year 3, I think, is going to be a lot better. I think we've made some good moves to the pitching, the offense, and I think year 3 might be the year. So if you like this video and you want to see more of them, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe so that way you know when I post any new content. And if you have a player you'd like to see me try this with, let me know in the comments as well. I've been really loving doing these franchise videos lately, and I don't mind doing more. So I hope you all have a great day. See you in the next video.